In this video, we're going to take a look at the warp transform command. It's a very cool command that allows you to take a grid of Bezier curves and use it to warp around the shape of a layer or selection. Now, I have an image that I just grabbed randomly off the internet of some sheets hanging on a clothesline. You don't necessarily have to have this exact image. You can use really anything you want just to get the point across. And this really isn't my picture to hand back out, so please don't ask for it. I'm not taking any credit for it whatsoever. It's just something useful. So I'm going to jump into Photoshop, and I'm going to create a text layer, and I'm going to write my name. So, Zach. Like so. Now we can't see that, so I'm going to do a few things. While I'm still in the text tool, I'm going to press the Enter key on my numpad, and that will end the typing session so that I can now do a little bit of editing. Let's take the color and make it, well, just something that'll stand out will be fine. Like a brilliant, super put your eyes out red will be great. And then I'm going to take the size and just drag the little size icon. And as I do that, of course, it gets nice and big. Now, once I have this up to a respectable size that I like, in fact, I'm going to hit T and I'm going to scale this up even more, so it'll just be huge. So, there we go. We're good to go. Now, let's say I want to warp this and put it onto that sheet, make it look like it's kind of following the curvature of that sheet. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is take this text and rasterize it. Right now, it's just Photoshop text. I can take it, I can retype it, I can change it to Zachary or anybody else's name. I'm going to right-click on this layer, though, and choose Rasterize Type. And in doing that, I have converted this over to pixels, so it's no longer anything I can actually type on. The type tool is useless in terms of this layer. But that's good. I'm fine with that. Next, we will now go to Edit, Transform, and choose Warp, like so. Now here's what the warp grid looks like. It allows you to have this nice grid of Bezier splines, and anywhere you drag, you are either pushing and pulling a single vertex of this grid, or like a Bezier control handle. So it's like a tangent handle that you can move around. Or you can click and drag in the middle of a square and you'll grab all four of the points around it. So you kind of see how this works. So I can take the corner of the K and bring it down here, bring this corner up here, and I can either grab the actual intersection where these two lines meet, or I can grab this tangent handle, whichever is more comfortable for me. If you miss, though, you will get a system beep, so you got to click right on the exact point that you need. So we'll pull this around, let this have a little bit of warp to it. We'll pull this guy, trying to see where that corner kind of exists. And so now we can just worry about kind of getting that to ripple over the edge of where the sheet appears. And I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this, but even with just a little bit of motion, you see that we're getting pretty close immediately. So something about like there. When you're done, press Enter, and there you go. And whatever you had is now rippling across the surface. And that's not perfect, as you can see. But you could sit there and just keep tweaking the points and get something that was a whole lot closer. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate. It's just a way that you can use the warp transform to reshape something. Again, it gives you kind of a grid of Bezier curves that you can use to change the curvature and flow of your layer or selection. That will wrap things up for this video. Thanks.